may or may not have a guaranteed item, and it looks like
here we
our
go.
runners are off.
Some people started at Link's house. Actually, 3 runners did. Unknown availability is the only one who started in Sanctuary, so...
Yeah, but I think we're going to see a quick save and quit, and most of the runners are going to check the Sanctuary and get almost the same bad news that it's...
5 rupees.
Well, there's 20 in the Sanctuary, I believe. I don't know where it is. Excuse me, it was 20 in Link's Hut, and 5 in the Sanctuary, so... couple bucks to start off with, and Megawatt's going to check the chest, and I believe the uncle, we have 10 arrows. And Uncle, unfortunately, does not have a weapon, and just kind of, you know, laying there with 20 bucks on hand.
Oh, boy. Nothing good to start.
Unknown availability, actually setting up a Houlihan room. Gonna collect that money and head on out. Looks like plasma.
Yep, checking Lumberjack Cave.
Yes. Ooh, that looked like something useful. That might have been a hook shot hiding back there.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to see it. Oh, I was checking the Lost Woods now, see what the 2 items up here would be.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's kind of just there for you to look at and see what it is. Plasma Kappa didn't seem to find anything to his liking.
I think that was 5 rupees.
It might have been a piece of heart.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Which is about as equally attractive as 5 rupees to the runners, I would think. Which is to say, not at all.
Unknown is checking, which I would call the dam, which is a regular heart, full heart container.
There's a very high likelihood we're going to see that picked up. And we have 3 bombs.
So nothing yet. So to the village we go for PK, or Plasma.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a popular destination in the very near future, but unknown availability is headed somewhere else, like maybe an Agina's Cave check here.
Yeah, wow. It's a pretty risky dive, I would say. Considering
there's
the options they have.
1 item, and Plasma Kappa going for the much more high yield area of Blind's Cave. We have a piece of heart, a couple money, some arrows, a full heart.
Nothing of value or anything yet.
Oh,
so.
Wow. Swing and a miss aside from that heart, which is only going to be marginally useful.
1 single arrow for unknown.
Frown.
Yes.
Yeah, so far this is not being a kind seed to the runners.
Well, PK's jumping down the well, so let's see what's down here.
Yeah, that is true. We're starting to see bottle vendor money, which, you know, the bottle vendor may actually have an item. Oh, more bombs at the bottom of the well.
Yeah, usually they have to buy them, but not this seed. Oh, hook shot. There we go.
That's a hook shot. And a red rag.
Yeah.
So we're in business, but I think we can stun enemies. I'm not sure if the hook shot's going to be all that effective, though.
No, not yet. Bottle vendor only had arrows, so nothing there.
Yeah, that's unfortunately a swing miss. Oh, that's a piece of a heart container in the graveyard ledge, or
Lumberjack, yep.
Graveyard ledge. I'm a little early with that. That would be when they're in the dark world.
Hookshot, while valuable at the moment, it doesn't really help them all that much.
Well, it helps to open up the map somewhat, but sure. Unfortunately, without, you know, a steady supply of bombs is about their only offense at this point. So we're probably going to see a library check on Plasma Kappa's side. And a piece of heart, not too exciting. And Megawatt's going to follow suit along with Sabotender.
Plasma is just going right for the item. Some people usually check it, like Mega is doing, and it's just 20 rupees.
Now, I will kind of speculate that Plasma Kappa might just be trying to find some money, but
No,
I don't think he was too pleased with finding
No,
that
he
20
was not.
rupees at the end of the race game. Just
No, he
kind
was
of
not.
noped on out of there. So it looks like Sabotender might be following an unknown availability's footsteps and going for a Gina check, along with opening the dam to see what's at the bottom of the swamp. And to be honest, it looks like exactly what Megawatt and Plasma Kappa are doing as well.
Everybody's following each other's footsteps right now, so nothing really is going to be found other than that.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much that's open. I think we're going to start seeing a voyage to the southeast, and Megawatt's probably going to check out that area to see what he can find. There's a cave here that he'll bomb open.
I wanted to point out that Plasma tried to do a little bit of a block clip, per se, with the hook shot. If you time the block properly when you push it forward, you could hook shot to the chest and open it, but he missed the clip, so he had to push the blocks to gain access to the chest.
Yeah, Megawatt actually pulled it off, and we have Mini Moldorm Cave, which is so far unexciting. 2 pieces apart. Oh,
there we go.
That's it's a power glove. It's something, but again, it's unfortunately not. I don't think that opens up any kind of a dungeon to. I don't think there's a boss you can kill with just a hook shot.
Nope.
Bombs.
They can probably run into Eastern to see what items are in there. But other than that, they're still searching.
I believe there's only 2 items. I think there's going to be better options. We have the cave where Megawatt's heading into, and I believe that's going to have... oh, that's Ice Rod Cave. Oh, Piece of Heart. That sounds like a giant swing and a miss for Plasma Kappa and Sabotender as well.
Yeah, nothing as of yet. So let's see what the next option for Mega would be.
It looks like Megawatt's noped out back to the sanctuary, but it looks like Sabotender has something else in mind.
Mega's dropping down to the back of Escape for the 3 chests on the bottom here.
Yeah, having the bombs, this is definitely a decent idea. Looks like Plasma Kappa might be going the same route. Sabotender, we've got Sabotender setting up a Flake Flipper, which I believe is going to be a hobo check.
They can check one thing without the Moon Pearl, and that would be Hobo. If they actually had the Moon Pearl, like Mega does, he can actually set up the Fake Flipper and check the waterfall up in Zora's domain. But if he does not have the Moon Pearl, they cannot check that, if I am not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe Megawatt has the Moon Pearl, the Hook Shot, and the Power Glove.
Just 5 rupees on the Hobo.
Ooh, unfortunate. And it looks like Unknown Availability is going to pick up a little bit of power with the Power Glove here.
So Mega is doing a out of sequence at the moment, going through to get the old man. So at the moment, I don't think the old man will have lamp, but he might have something else. So,
well, that's very true, because this is an out of sequence, what we call a dark room. It's not meant to be done without the lamp. So the game's logic, I believe, will assume you have the lamp. And we have
Fire Rod.
Ooh, now we're playing with power. We've got something going.
Oh, Quake on plasma screen. And silver arrows. Wow, nice.
Ooh, Sashala's a decent play, but
Yeah.
the problem with silver arrows is you got to have a bow to fire them with.
Absolutely. But that's going to make the Ganon fight a lot easier.
Oh, it's going to make a lot of things a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Armos Knights comes almost immediately to mind.
Yep. 1 silver arrow per.
And it looks like Plasma Kappa's headed into Eastern Palace, but Megawatt's exploring Death Mountain.
Yep. He's going to probably check the 2 items in here, or the items in here, I should say. He'll probably sequence break the Dark Room as well.
Yeah, Sabotender went into Escape and picked up the Moon Pearl. And I believe Unknown Availability looks like they're going to get the bad news from the uncle with the 20 rupees. But having some bombs, I think we might see almost a full clear from Unknown Availability here going through the escape area.
Yeah, it looks like Mega is also going to the right side of Dark Mountain here. Now, he doesn't have the Titan's Mitts, so he can't check the dark side of the world yet, per se. But he can check these chests here as well.
Well, this is where things are going to get a little chaotic for us, because we have 4 runners in 4 completely different places. So if we miss something...
Oh, mirror on Megawatt on the right side of Death Mountain.
I apologize in advance, but we definitely saw that mirror as Plasma Kappa gets rewarded with a burrito.
I missed that hint for KO. I apologize. I didn't see what that said, so... Oh, the bow as well. Wow. Oh, and a sword.
Wow.
Boy.
We have ourselves a regular armory here down in Death Mountain.
And Mega's going to do a bomb jump to avoid climbing back up. And he nailed it on the first try.
Yeah, the bomb jumps, I almost want to say, are going to be fairly routinely done by the runners here. You might see a misstep in the Ice Palace every once in a while, but aside from that, you know, I think the overall skill of these runners is fairly high, so, you know, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to pulling off mechanical things like a bomb jump.
I feel like the bomb jump that most people learn first are the Ice Palace, due to you don't need a key. If you have the...
It's one of life's great quality of life time skips. To not have to go through a good portion of the Ice Palace.
Especially if you're in go mode. Oh, and I missed it. I apologize. Unknown has grabbed the Titan's Mitts.
Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise to me. I guess they were hiding out in Hyrule Castle somewhere. And it looks like Unknown Availability is going to finish the escape sequence.
Skipping the dark rooms isn't a necessity, but once you know them, it makes most of the dungeons very easy to complete if you don't have to depend on a fire source. If you're a new runner, I recommend, you know, playing out the logic and getting what you need, but they definitely do help save time.
Yeah, it looks like Death Mountain was definitely the play here, getting the bow and, you know, a sword that, you know, they can kind of, you know, if they learn how to use the pointy end of it, they can maybe poke things and see how far that gets them.
Yeah, sword definitely makes it a lot easier, even if it's a level 1 sword. This is the fighter sword.
So we have our unknown availability, picks up the Moon Pearl, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go to next.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Mega can actually complete this dungeon.
With the bow in hand, yes.
So they can go ahead and finish this if they know the dark room. And you are right; it was on back of escape. The escape sequence, I should say, was the Titan's Dance.
Yeah, the light side Death Mountain definitely rewarded a lot of items, as we saw the bow, a sword. I believe the mirror was part of that sequence as well.
Yes.
The fire rod was the gift of the old man.
Unknown is making the first play into the Dark World. Now, he doesn't have all the items the other runners do, but there can be something in here very valuable.
Now, unfortunately, I would almost venture a guess that he might be trying to have a go at Skull Woods, but then I realized he hasn't done Death Mountain yet and does not have the fire rod.
Right. He can check most of the chests, but 2. And when I say 2, I mean from the boss and inside of the last part of Skull Woods.
Yeah, so this looks like it's going to be a Skull Woods expedition just to see what kind of items will be found, along with the potential of Village of Outcasts and possibly going into Thieves' Town itself. Again, without any offensive items, though, might be a little difficult to finish either of those dungeons, sadly.
The question in chat was, where was Bo? Bo was on the right side of the Light World, on Death Mountain.
It was in the Death Mountain weapons cache, where there's 4 chests along with a person kind of guarding the armory. I completely forget what that cave is called, unfortunately, off the top of my head.
I have the same. Do not know. The lamp can technically be anywhere. They have a lot of items to check many places. Dark World included.
That's it. Paradox Cave.
Yeah,
Thank you,
right.
chat.
Thank you, sir.
And for the record, Hype Cave was absolutely a swing and a miss. I think the most exciting thing that came out of there was a full heart. And I believe you are right, Red Reamer. I was confusing it with Moldarm Cave. That's what I get for doing Zelda 2 Randomizer yesterday. I'm getting my Zeldas mixed up. Oops. My bad.
Mega did a smart thing with Fire Rod. He lit the room up, just in case. Those enemies are very tricky to kill in the dark room, because they open their eye and they shut their eye, and you can't find them if they're running around. So lighting up that torch helped them a lot.
Ooh, unknown availability is kind of semi-stuck. Oh, he just avoids
very close
the hand.
Okay, Armos Knights.
Now, it looks like Megawatt having the silver arrows is going to make absolutely short work of Armos Knights, and we have first blood at 19 minutes and 10 seconds with Megawatt scoring the first crystal of our restreamed runners.
Everybody's checking previous checks, so we'll see what Mega does now.
Unknown availability.
Picked up by the Wall Master. Now he has to reap unknown availability. Has to go back in there.
I think he tried a little swag strat to stun the hand, but unfortunately found himself victimized by the hand. trying to get everything out of the way so we can get into that room and check that chest. A little bit of a accidental misstep with the Wallmaster there. Now, I think the Wallmaster is going to get him this time, and it's completely intentional.
Ice Rod in the sea room in the Dark World. So Turtle Rock access is available with what we know as far as the ice to finish it with the Ice Rod and Fire Rod. We do not know what the pendant is quite yet.
Well, I don't know if it's...
I mean,
I think it actually...
Medallion. My apologies.
I was going to say it was, you know, between the Bombos, Quake, and Ether medallion. It's a mistake I make all the time myself, confusing pendants, medallions, and all other sorts of madness. Oh my. Ooh, Plasma Kappa finding a bottle. And unknown availability, revealing the location of the Ice Rod in Village of Outcasts.
So Turtle Rock is at Crystal, so it will be... They are required.
Yeah, so that Ice Rod is definitely a find, as you're not going to be able to get through Turtle Rock without it. Well, you're not going to be able to beat the boss without it.
Correct. Plasma is doing the digging game right now.
And the question in chat is unknown availability using a Ultra Sprite. I believe he is.
Just bombs in the digging game, so nothing there.
And unknown availability picking up a bottle. For those that have the mirror, and by those I mean Megawatt at this point and Sabotender, if they happen to be around the Village of Outcasts, they can do what unknown availability and Plasma Kappa are doing right now with delivering Jeremiah the Bullfrog, along with a few other things, a lot quicker than we're going to see Plasma Kappa doing.
Unknown is in Thieves right now, so let's see if any of the items are in here that we need. As for a question with the lantern, nothing yet. No lantern or flute at the moment.
Plasma Kappa checking our mysterious loot singer within the woods. I don't think anything of value was found there. But it looks like Plasma Kappa is on our Dark World Hyrulean journey to deliver Jeremiah the Bullfrog.
Yeah, he's definitely taking a tour. Oh, there you go. There it is. It is in Thieves Town. The lamp is in Thieves Town. So all dark rooms are now... And the cane.
It looks like Plasma Kappa's found Hype Cave. Oh. Money. Money. Arrows.
And nothing.
Money. Ooh. Whammy. 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 And whammy. Ouch. 0 of 10. Well, alright, I will give it a 1 of 10 Hype Cave, because it gave them enough money for the Zora investment program.
Very true.
Aside from that, not so Hype Cave today.
Aster Sword found on the right side of the Dark World axis. Bunny Cave, as they say.
The Super Bunny Cave.
Super Bunny Cave, yes, sir.
See, I think Chad agrees with me in the Zora 10 rating for Hype Cave, because it's definitely a work in progress, because if Zora has a really great item, then it's a really great thing. But if Zora kind of strikes out, this is going to not look so good.
Turtle Rock is Quake Medallion, so they have access. If they have... They actually have access if they have the items that all the runners have together. They do have access, so they can go in there and complete it.
I believe Plasma Kappa is missing. No, they don't. They need the hammer.
Oh, you are correct.
And of course, well, Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Firstborn Child, probably a few other things that I'm forgetting as well. But we know the medallion. We know it's the Fire Rod, Ice Rod. They have the Titan's Myth, so that's not an issue to move the stone. But they need the hammer to hammer in the 3 pegs.
I gotta be quite honest with you, Frico. I love a nice trolley pedestal seed, so it's not looking too good for that, but there is still possibilities.
Don't lose hope.
I'm not. I'm there.
Don't lose hope. There's always the chance of it being a pedestal seed. And, as the runners progress, the feelings go up and down. Of course, I'm always rooting for a pedestal seed, so,
Sorry, streamers, runners. I apologize if you're watching this back.
Oh, I am not in any way, shape, or form apologetic, and, well, they know this. Well, it looks like Unknown Availability is going to have a go at Blind with the cane and see if that works out.
He did die, and he lost his fairy, so...
Well, I don't think that's going to be too important against Blind because the cane's going to make him invulnerable, and the cane is going to do all the work.
I don't think he has...
Well...
It's definitely harder without a sword, because there's a certain pattern that he follows, but... I myself cannot do this strat, but good runners like these fine streamers are definitely a lot better than I am with this, but this is a very cool swag strat, in my opinion.
Oh no, Unknown Availability, unfortunately going to take a game over, and this is going to take Blind off of his regularly scheduled pattern.
Nope, right out of there, because I would do the same. The nice thing about Blind, you do not need any type of... Doesn't matter what sword you have, they're all the same. It's 3 hits per stage for 3 stages. Does not matter what sword you have. Or weapon, at that.
That is true, because both of the canes will act the same way, and it looks like Unknown Availability is going to do some digging.
I think he's just going to be rewarded with bombs. If you look at Mega Screen, they are checking that chest and hitting the mirror to get right back to the beginning. They could do that before or after Mothula, but nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately, after what looked like about 21 digs, we get 3 bombs. That is a disappointing digging game.
Very.
But looks like Plasma Kappa's on the Fire Rod tip there, so I think once we locate the hammer, that will open up Turtle Rock. And it looks like Unknown Availability is going to take the long way around for Jeremiah the Bullfrog as well. Sabotender and Megawatt having the mirror once they get back to that area will have a much quicker time about Jeremiah and the purple lunchbox chest.
Mega is fighting Mothula at the moment. The thing about Mothula is if you hit the spikes, it does not register as a hit. So sometimes it takes a little bit harder or a little bit longer to kill the moth. The spikes count as 1 heart of damage no matter how much armor you have, but no problem for Mega. Using the Fire Rod to finish up and is rewarded with a compass. But does have the green pendant.
Now this does unlock Sashrala in whatever he's hiding. He'll give it up once you get the green pendant. I'm not sure if anybody talked to Sashrala when they had checked the hut.
If you see it in Saboteur's screen, now they are doing the strat with the sword.
Well, looks like a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B with using the blocks. Sabotender's gonna have to dance a little bit though, but it looks like got one hit. Oh no! With the last hit on blind, Sabotender takes a hit.
And they never got the bottle, so no fairy.
Yeah, no fairy. So unfortunately, that's going to take blind off his pattern for Sabotender in that refight. And it looks like that's exactly what Sabotender's going for.
Blind 2, runner 0 at the moment.
Yeah, blind's proving to be top 10 contender today, but normally it makes him look like closer to Von Kaiser or Glass Joe there. Let's see what Jeremiah the Bullfrog yields us as he's been magically turned back into a blacksmith. More bombs.
Oh. The problem with going back into Thieves Town is the boss is now the pattern is now different because the boss is actually there, whereas you can start above him if you just bring them into the beginning. So it's a little bit trickier, but
oh, that nice compass to find where the boss is as the reward for Sabotender and the crystal for Thieves Town. And it looks like Plasma Kappa is on Death Mountain. Dark Death Mountain.
it's going to be interesting to see if Desert is boot locked or not. More often than not, I do see it locked by boots.
Well, Desert's definitely a crystal, so they're going to have to head out that way. But
I saw Chad talking about pedestal earlier, and boots could definitely be one of those items because it's not required by many dungeons.
well, it could be required, though. Well, let's see what our pedestal dungeons are. Tower of Hera. SP is Swamp Palace, and SW is Skull Woods. So I don't believe any of them would immediately require boots. So it's entirely possible that our ped hopes are on boots.
Yeah, they definitely can't dip into Desert just yet. I was just speculating what could possibly be on pedestal.
Yeah, I think without, having the Mallard be empowered and by the flute or the book to get into Desert Palace. We have a hookshot cave checked by Plasma Kappa. And it looks like unknown availability is checking Death Mountain, so it looks like we're going to see the bow, a sword, a mirror, a bunch of fun stuff for unknown availability to be found here in Death Mountain.
Everybody who took a wipe to blind is now finding the bottle with the fairy in it, and I'm sure they're wishing they had that before.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have made that fight much easier, just because you have a little bit of death insurance. And there we go, unknown availability picking up the fighter sword and the bow, and now on equal terms with the rest of the runners. Sabotender is headed into the digging game and about to get the not-so-good news.
Nope. As Vince has stated in chat, that I have seen boots as well on Big Torch, and that is probably the trolliest thing. I'm sorry, big key on torch in Ganon's Tower. That is very troll, and I love it.
Wow. I approve of that.
Yeah, me too.
That
That's
is
fun.
nasty. Oh, a piece of heart in the desert ledge. And it looks like we're going to see what else Stabotender is going to look for. With no shovel, we won't be able to dig up what's in the woods here, but we'll see what our mystery flute player has got. That's another bottle. So we know where at least 2, if not 3 bottles are at this point.
Typically, 1 is good enough for most runners. I probably need all 4, but 1 is typically good.
And Megawatt is giving Jeremiah the Bullfrog the quick tour, where just going straight over to the blacksmith's hut and gonna get rewarded with some bombs. Plasma Kappa's taking on Trolldorm.
Wow, very quickly.
Was taking on Trolldorm.
And more bombs. Wow, there's a lot of bomby seed, isn't it? Bombs everywhere.
Yeah. And here we go with the Sabotender getting the Zora of 10 Hype Cave. And a question by Quintus C. Can items lock themselves if they're not needed for completion? Yes. That is entirely possible to have, say, the big key be in the big chest in certain dungeons, for an example. Excuse me, yeah, to be clear, it's not items specifically. It is the keys and the big keys. Chat is definitely correct, and thank you for correcting me on that one. Unknown Availability has checked Turtle Rock and now knows they need the Quake Medallion.
But they do not have Quake because they didn't go to Sroswell yet, so...
Oh, minor details. Oh, we have the mushroom in the Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, they could fake powder if they wanted to, and then hand in the mushroom as well.
Well, it looks like Megawatt is doing his best Uber Eats driver impression here with delivering the lunchbox.
I'm gonna hand it in and see what we got in there.
Over 50 rupees, yeah.
Just money for lunch. We have a Palace of Darkness dip on Saboteur's side.
Now it looks like Plasma Kappa should have everything to be able to take down Skull Woods here. Has the fire rod to get access to the boss. And it looks like it's just a matter of fishing for items at this point for Plasma Kappa on their way through.
Kena Burna was found in the Palace of Darkness. Now, they do not have Hammer just yet to complete it, but it could be here. And it was bow locked, so they definitely need the bow to get in here unless they decide to do a bottle skip, or the potion glitch, I guess they would call it.
Yes. Now, don't quote me on this, chat, but I believe there is some percentage of hints that are not entirely helpful.
Plasma's going for Mothula, so...
Yeah, we saw Megawatt, I believe, already take down Mothula. And it looks like Megawatt is going to be headed into Thieves Town now.
They'll get their lamp as well.
So I believe Megawatt has 2 crystals. I'm almost certain Megawatt did defeat Mothula already in Skull Woods.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Green Pendant, correct?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's even right there hiding in plain sight, so I'd never see it.
I couldn't see it either, yeah. I had to blend it right in, so.
And it looks like unknown availability is going to at least check the back of the cave and will be rewarded. And there it is. There's a medallion to get into Turtle Rock. But again, no hammer. So we've got the A1, we've got the Lugers, we've got all the trimmings, but unfortunately, still no stake.
I'm not entirely sure if hammer can be on pedestal. I don't know if swamp requires hammer to get into it.
Let's see. Swamp? Ooh. Let me think. No? It needs the flippers. I know that much.
Right.
I think that's the only required item for Swamp Palace. Well, aside from Moon Pearl. Which all of the runners have. Flippers. I'm trying to think of where it needs the hammer, though. And I'm not coming across it. But I think chat's saying hammer required for Swamp, and I will definitely defer to them as...
Yes.
I'm just being scatterbrained and not remembering where hammer is required.
Yeah, I'm kind of missing it too, but I'm sure they are correct. Oh yes, it does for the lever, on the second the first pull lever. You need hammer to pop down one of the pegs.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
My mistake. So hammer cannot be on peg.
So let's see.
Like
Hammer's out.
Or boots, maybe.
Well, I don't think anybody's checked Misery Mire yet, but the only thing I think we're missing for Misery Mire is what pendant's required to get in there. Possibly the flute as well. But here we go with Megawatt taking on Blind, and that was a very quick round 1. Megawatt claiming victory in round 2 as well.
Flippers were found inside of a pod, so that opens up a bunch of things.
And there we go with Megawatt picking up their second crystal as they've defeated Blind and finished Thieves Town.
Saboteur is checking the pyramid, and it's nothing. Green rupee. I apologize, Sabotender. I keep saying Saboteur for some reason. I don't know why I keep doing that. It must be a Final Fantasy thing or something. Looks like we got a catfish check. And maybe even a mirror to Zora. It'd be nice in the routing, I believe, if they did that. So
yeah, I think that's...
Flippers were not in pod. My apologies. I missed them wherever they were.
Now that's one of those things where it just kind of ends up showing up, and it's like, oh, right, it was a thing, but it looks like exactly what you're saying. It's going to be a catfish check, then a mirror into Waterfall Cave, along with the rest of Zora's domain, I think.
Oh, nothing from catfish. Man, bombs and arrows this seed.
Yeah. Bombs, arrows, and rupees. Oh
Yeah.
my. Waterfall cave?
Nothing.
Nice place to take a date. Getting a lot of love there, but I don't know if too helpful for the runners. It looks like Sabotender's got a full row of 10 hearts at least, so...
Looks like flippers were in Thieves Town, according to the chat, which, thank you very much.
Unknown availability is going to make short work of Armos Knights here, and even though they're the last to pick up...
Oh my god, hammer is mushroom.
Oh! Hello. And today in our Zora investment program, you will turn 500 rupees into 10 arrows. So that hype cave is now a Zora of 10, and I think that Zora might actually be -2. So my final verdict on hype cave is -2 of 10.
Yeah, definitely no good results came from that. Which, you know, it's a gamble, but it didn't pay off this time.
And unfortunately, I did not check what was on Zora's ledge, but...
heart piece. Oh, heart, I'm sorry, a full heart. It was a full heart.
Sabotender wasn't interested in it anyway, so I don't think it would have been anything too spicy. It looks like Sabotender's gonna make a go for Death Mountain, Dark Death Mountain at least.
PK is checking the Graveyard Ledge, which I don't believe we've seen yet.
Yeah, Megawatt's gonna unfortunately get the bad news that Sabotender has just gotten, that we've got a bunch of love in the Waterfall Cave. The Zora investment program is surprisingly not effective. Megawatt confirming that the Zora ledge was a full heart.
And nothing on Graveyard Ledge, just 300 bucks. Which is nice if you want potions or anything, but other than that, if you're already invested into those arrows, not doing it.
I think with 1,300 rupees, let's see, you need 500 for Zora, 110 for Palace of Darkness. So that's a lot of spending cash already.
Yeah, they got some. It's a really big high rupee seed, which is...
we're looking at about 700 rupees worth of potion cash already for Plasma Kappa.
Yeah, nobody likes to spend rupees on Zora, but if he does have something and you skip it, man, that must feel awful. I'm not entirely sure if I'd go right to Turtle Rock or not, but Turtle Rock does have a nice influx of items, so...
Well, with the hammer in hand, I think that's actually exactly where Megawatt should go, because you know you have everything for it. Let's see what else could be a possibility. The Hammer Peg Cave.
Oh, yeah.
But that's only one item.
Swamp,
I think,
is now unlocked.
speaking from, you know, an item density standpoint, I would be trying to make haste to Turtle Rock if I were Megawatt.
Yeah, a lot of runners like to keep it for last, depending on how the seed is going. Most of the time they do it because of the Ganon Tower, but that one dungeon can have everything you need.
Oh, that's very true, as we have Sabotender in Tower of Hera. So it looks like our runners might... oh, the boots require hammer. Is our hint from Tower of Hera.
Well, it could be Hammer Peg Cave. Could be Swamp.
Well, it's not exactly the most direct hint of saying, you know, hey, go here, because this thing is there. It could be anywhere that is potentially locked out by the hammer, so it could be somewhere in Turtle Rock, because you definitely need the hammer to get into Turtle Rock. Chat's pointing out Mimic Cave. There's a whole bunch of stuff that qualifies as needing the hammer.
But unfortunately, it looks like there's very slim things that could be on pedestal at the moment. It looks like we're looking at Boot and Bombos, depending on what Mr. Meyer is.
Yeah, even then, if it is the Bombos, it's a 1 in 3 chance of Bombos even needing to be found in the first place.
Yeah.
As it looks like Plasma Kappa and Megawatt are going into Palace of Darkness.
I think at this point, I'm hoping for Shovel and Ped, and Boots are hired behind Hammer.
Blue
So
Cane for Megawatt in Palace of Darkness.
Looks like everybody's picking up the items that everybody has discovered so far. Getting the crystals they need. Yeah, Green Pendant was trash. I don't remember what it was, per se. But it wasn't...
Sashrala had a thing, but it certainly wasn't exciting. Might have been 3 bombs, if memory...
Probably was. Probably.
Just because I think I'm probably just going to be right by saying, hey, what was that thing? 3 bombs? And it probably more than half the time so far, that's been exactly what has been given to the runners. Watching this room without the boots to just go through the elevators on Plasma Kappa's side is almost painful to watch.
Boots definitely make this a lot faster. Hammer was mushroom.
Yeah, turning in the mushroom in the witch's hut yielded us the hammer. And unknown...
I'm sorry, there, Freak, go ahead.
No, it's unknown availability. Just about to get the bad news that he's just murdered 500 rupees here.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like we're going to have Sabotender headed off to Skull Woods at this point. And
that's who it is. No, really. Go ahead. Guess.
And it looks like unknown availability is noping out back to the sanctuary with... I think unknown availability is taking a little bit and trying to think things through as to where exactly they want to go next. Actually, no, Saban picked the old man's hut, but no, going back to the sanctuary.
Little do they know that that little mushroom in there, that fungi, is holding up a little bit of their dungeon exploration right now.
If only there was a way we could tell them these things. But that would be cheating.
Yes, now Unknown can do the glitch for the fake powder and see what's on there without requiring the powder.
That is true. A fake powder might be a play. I don't think unknown availability is going to go for it, though. But with unknown availability definitely not taking the same route that the other runners have, we could see a couple things here. Looks like... looks like we're setting up a... fake powder on unknown availabilities. So of course,
for everybody who doesn't know, I'm sorry, Free, go ahead.
You know, of course, I'm thinking, oh well, they're not going to do the fake powder, and that's exactly what unknown availability goes to do.
For everybody who's new to the whole Zelda randomizer, what we're talking about is basically they use the cane and the mushroom to set up a glitch where, when you use the cane and click on the mushroom, the game thinks you have the powder, and it activates the bat.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to see on unknown availabilities, as he would normally need to get the powder.
Perfect. Set it up perfectly. Basically, when you hear the sound, like no way, you don't have enough, you click off and click right on the mushroom, and it pops on like the powder. And it was nothing. 5 rupees.
I am starting to feel bad for these runners, because every time they try to make a play for something, it just ends up blowing up in their face, and oh my.
Looking at chat, flute cannot be on pedestal.
I'm almost certain that to get into Misery Mire, you need the flute. But I'm not sure about Swamp Palace.
Oh yeah, it could be. Yeah, flute could be on pedestal because we have the Titan's mitts.
We're only looking at the pedestal having any of the 3 crystals that's... Or excuse me, not the crystals, the 3 pendants. So we look at those dungeons. Tower of Hera, we know we definitely don't need it. Swamp Palace and Skull Woods. And Sabotender is now facing Mothula, which is the boss of Skull Woods. Bombos is only possibly required by Misery Mire. As we know, Turtle Rock is the Quake Medallion.
Yeah, so right now, Bombos and Flute, I believe, can be on ped, yes. As Ranger points out.
But then again, it could be something that, because having more fetch quests with your fetch quests...
Oh yeah.
It
like shovel
could
and
be
ped.
the book.
Shovel to book to the tablets. That's great. Unknown is taking a dive into Ice Palace. Most people like to go mode this dungeon because it does take a little bit of time to get through. But
He has enough to complete it, I believe, which is, well...
he's missing hammer,
Oh, yeah, minor detail.
which we know is not in here. So.
That's very true. Unfortunately, Unknown Availability does not know this. He was on the right track with using the mushroom to
Yes, you were right.
fake flipper, but unfortunately, he did not follow that further and turn in the mushroom. So this is going to be a little note to self, to ask Unknown Availability later on when we do the interviews
Yes.
about that mushroom. And unfortunately for Plasma Kappa, we are unable to stop him from murdering 500 rupees.
Oh yeah, here we go. Ugh, gross.
So we have all 4 of our restreamed runners. Oh, at least he took the 10 arrows. I will give him that much. All 3 other runners, unfortunately, just noped out and did not even accept Zora's gift of 10 arrows.
Unknown took a death in Ice Palace and noped right out. Sabotender found the hammer, so they're on their way.
I'm not sure if that was or was not an intentional death. I think Unknown Availability is just lost at this point, trying to just go, all right, what did I miss? And hopefully they go into their item screen and realize they still have the mushroom. And it doesn't look like Unknown Availability is headed off to the Witch's Hut, because that would be to the right.
Oh, there's Bombos. Mega is in Swamp Palace and just found Bombos.
That removes one of our possible pet items that would be required.
I'm not entirely sure where Ether was. Chat, I'm not too sure if you can help me with that. But they are all found at the moment.
Yeah, we are in no mode of where all of the medallions are. And Ped is alive, but I would say it's on pretty much the intensive care unit and close to being on life support, as I think we've got the book, the shovel, Any of our fetch quest items, along with just the actual item itself that we might need, which is the flute right now. Unless there's something else that I'm missing.
Could be cape, right? Did anybody check the ledge for that item?
Ooh.
Oh, thank you, Vince. Yep.
Well, we have unknown availability going to the graveyard ledge, and well, that's unfortunately not going to work out. Plasma Kappa is headed into, well, a good portion of the way through Turtle Rock at this point.
Yes, as someone mentioned in chat, it is possible that flute is in here. Good chances.
Well, there's, I believe, 226 chests in total. 216.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So the percentage chance of anything being anywhere is low.
Usually, though, most of the troll items are in here because you go last to it.
Well, we've already had the runners complete pendant dungeons, which is kind of surprising. But,
Yeah.
As we see Plasma Kappa having the green and blue pendant, Megawatt with the green pendant, Sabotender with the green pendant. I think unknown availability is just unfortunately missing something, and that something is unfortunately not going to be a catfish check.
Well, we found boots on Megawatt's screen there.
Oh, that's no fun.
So he's going fast. Definitely. Bummer, man.
Well, we've got an Argus fight on our hands for Megawatt as well.
This is very tough without the Tempered Sword, and a lot of screen scrolling if you use the hammer. So,
But, all right, unknown availability. Please use the mirror. Please use the mirror. Please, please use the mirror. Please. Oh,
I'm so sorry, Unknown, when
turn
you
in
watch
that
this back.
mushroom.
This is
Oh, turn in that mushroom. Come on, unknown availability. You know you can do it.
Helmosaur.
Yeah, Sabotender making quick work of Helmosaur.
Has blue mail.
Ah, we did have an item left, and it is blue mail, and we have another crystal for Sabotender.
Piece of heart for Mega. But boots. 2 pendants for Megawatt at the moment.
Oh, unknown availability. Oh, the witch's hut. Can we like quick flash it on the screen like one of those telepathic hints? Where can we go with this? Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
unfortunately,
so sad by this.
checking all the dungeons that require hammer are gonna yield no hammer.
Well, that's the thing. We know where it is, and Sabotender, Megawatt, and Plasma Kappa all got the memo, but unknown availability. Ah.
Yeah, Bonk Rocks had bombs. Nothing there.
Well, that's a shocker.
Did Plasma skip Mimic Cave?
Not to my knowledge. I've not seen a laser bridge or a mimic cave yet.
Okay, good. Ranger just said it was a hint of heart or cash, so
Oh, so
not wasting the time.
junk. So, yeah. So that would explain no mimic cave.
Correct.
And Plasma Kappa will find the compass and hopefully not get lost throughout Turtle Rock.
I wonder if we're going to see some rage bombs or slashes from Unknown when he finds that hammer.
Oh.
Considering they had the mushroom for a very long time.
Yeah, and that's just so saddening to see unknown availability all around the hammer and go past what is the Dark World version of the Witch's Hut and not.
We just missed the Swag Duck anthem, so it looks like all of the items are found.
Yeah,
If I'm not
Megawatt
mistaken.
has got the flute, so
We are
I
in
think
go
it's-
mode.
I think it's safe to say that the pet is dead and Megawatt is in go mode.
So boots are required. King's Tomb had the flute, according to chat. So they definitely have to find the boots.
So yeah, this is just. I'm so sorry, unknown availability. But, now we have our laser bridge check on Plasma Kappa's side of things. Oh,
They took the safety cave. Just in case you get hit with that laser, they hurt. I think it's like 3 or 4 hearts of damage.
well, yeah, when you only have 2 left and laser hit's going to be fatal, I absolutely endorse using the cane.
100%.
My name is Frico, and I approve that message. It's that time of year. I've been driven nuts by those commercials lately.
Mega is looking for the big key. They will skip every other chest in here. Once they find the big key, they will skip every other chest.
Yeah, I'm gonna think that's gonna be a mirror and straight to the boss. Megawatt will go once they find the big key, and we have Plasma Kappa going up against Trihex.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. But
Oh,
we
they
have
have
a
a fairy.
So Plasma Kappa cashing in on that death insurance.
Now, if you noticed on Plasma screen, they're using the hammer because the hammer acts as a tempered sword hit. So it's easier to kill the heads with the hammer than it would be the Master Sword.
Well, Plasma Kappa's going to run into trouble if he couldn't take care of that last head. Because he would not have had any more magic to use
Correct.
the Ice Rod. But it looks like he should be safe at this point and take down the last part of Trihex here. And there it is, Plasma Kappa taking down Trihex.
I hope Unknown realizes when they get out of this dungeon that there's really no other options. But the mushroom, I'm pretty sure they're out of options at that point.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Unknown Availability hasn't already turned in the mushroom, but I mean, he's just going and just by the way they have been acting, don't want to assume a he or a she.
Yes, I keep thinking that mistake as well.
Unless I know it is a he or a she, and for Unknown Availability, I do not know, so... Pronoun game, I know. It's a cinema sin, but, you know.
I know we're an hour and 8 minutes in, but I apologize if I have said that before and it is not true. Plasma is checking Spike Cave? But we know that's nothing.
Alright.
So Omega has found the key and they are going.
Had a little coughing fit there. Sorry about that.
All good.
Now we've got Megawatt. Yeah, at this point, it's just going to be a little shooting gallery here.
Oh, very easy. Very good job.
Yeah, definitely with
one
the
cycle.
silvers.
Nice. 2 shots and the eyeball is dead.
And Megawatt making short work of Vitreous, and that's going to be crystal number 4.
I imagine they're going to save Turtle Rock for last because it is on Death Mountain and it is just a skip away from Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, that's going to be Misery Mire down for Megawatt, and that should result in the 4th crystal that Megawatt has.
And just right outside of Misery Mire is a quick mirror to Desert Palace. Find the big key and go after the boss.
Yeah, this is just going to be pretty efficient routing from Megawatt at this point to have both of the dungeons set up like that.
And it doesn't look like it's boot required, though. Not that it matters, but there was just a compass on the torch.
Yeah, that's definitely a very unexciting torch item, and I would say completely ignorable by everyone.
So, Freako, do you think that they will check Ganon's Tower for swords, or do you think they will skip all chests just under the assumption they don't find one on the way?
Once they find the big key, I think they're definitely going to go right to the end. It's entirely possible that you might find the Tempered Sword. That makes a bit of a difference, but having the silver arrows, I think, is going to go directly to, all right, I have what I need to defeat Ganon at this point.
Yeah, agreed.
So I really think if they didn't have silvers, then I would put a lot more into, all right, I need to go find a better sword.
Yeah, it's definitely a harder fight with just Mastered. And no silver arrows.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Sabotender at the end of Turtle Rock. Plasma Kappa is...
Oh, Unknown has dove into Ice Palace.
Again? Megawatt is taking on Landmolus, and this is 3 silver shots.
Oh, wow. And done. Oh, the shovel! Ah. That would have been a nice fetch quest.
Yeah, I don't think Megawatt's going to go looking for a shovel item. Oh, Sabotender, I think, ran out of magic and unfortunately has to take a death.
On Unknown screen, you're looking at the bomb jump that most people do. It saves you a lot of time. But it's a pixel-perfect setup. And looks like they got it.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the custom sprites, I'm not sure if that changes where you need to be. But Plasma Kappa making short work of Helmasaur, booping his nose with the sword to get rid of that mask, and 1 silver arrow is all we need to take him down.
As Chad is pointing out, Sabotender ran out of magic.
Yeah, I think with the knockback from the hammer, that is causing Sabotender to have to use each of the weapons a second time, the Ice Rod and Fire Rod, respectively.
If you're wondering why the runner is attacking the blue head first, it puts ice on the field, which is very problematic. If you don't have a good weapon, or if you're trying to do, hammer strats on this, it'd be slipping around. So it's, you kill the fire head first if you can, and then go for the ice. But if you can't, just kill the ice head first.
I think you have it all wrong. Sabotender is doing their civic duty to not allow Trinex to litter. And, if you let the blue head alone for too long, it'll litter. And we can't have that.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
So your public service announcement for today is littering is bad.
You don't want to get fined for that. I mean, I know they have a lot of rupees, but...
I don't know. Around these parts, it's it's like a 1,000 fine. So I don't know. Sabotender only looked like they had about 900 rupees. So you can understand not wanting to have to pay the fine there for
they're correct.
litter.
Mega is setting up the bomb jump. Still trying to get it. A little bit lower. There you go. Yeah. There you go. If Unknown does not have that hammer, they are going to be a little upset.
Well, we know Unknown doesn't have the hammer, though.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate problem is he's going to get all the way to the boss where you would drop down and go, uh-oh. Oh, flippers are in Thieves Town. Yeah. Unknown availability knows that already.
Yeah. Too bad it didn't say hammer is required by fungi. I'm sure that's not a hint, but that would be funny for one.
Yeah, can we change that hint to go to the witch's cave? But unknown availability finds a tempered sword in Ice Palace, so it looks like that's going to be a nope on out of there because unknown availability still, unfortunately, does not have the hammer and cannot complete Ice Palace.
Yeah, Mega made quick work of Ice Palace, not having to check any of those chests.
Yeah, having Bombos as well, with using about a quarter of the bar to break the ice on Cold Stare. And now it'll just be a matter if he can, or Megawatt can contain the eyeballs, and it looks like doing a fairly good job of it.
Yeah, I got one down. With Blue Mail, shouldn't have too much of a problem, and
I think the only issue is having the level 2 sword. I think only spin slashes are going to be effective at dealing damage, but as we see, even that was not too much of a burden on Megawatt.
Yeah, not too sure where Unknown's going at the moment. I'm not too sure what they have left to check.
Witch's Hut?
Yeah.
But it looks like unknown availability might be going back into Thieves Town and trying to retrace their steps and go, all right, I missed something. I had to have missed something, but I don't know where it is.
I wasn't item counting, but I believe Blind had... I don't know if they had a dungeon item or...
Blind had a compass.
He had a compass, yep. Yeah, Mega has been in go mode ever since they got the flute, I believe.
Correct. Unknown availability might just be going, okay, I have enough items to take down Blind, so I'm just going to do what I can, and maybe Blind has the item.
Unfortunately, everybody who has skipped Swamp Palace does not have boots. So, unless they dip in there, they are a little bit behind.
Well, we're going to have unknown availability pick up the Thieves Town. So that's going to give a second crystal to unknown availability. And Megawatt is going to be able to head into Turtle Rock now.
Yep.
And that's going to be the final dungeon that they will need before going into Ganon's Tower, which is not very far away.
I sure hope that Unknown doesn't forfeit, and I want to see when they find that hammer. I want to see the rage from the sword or bombs. Because I know I would be the same way.
Now, I think, I mean, these runners definitely know that they're being restreamed, so I think there's a very high likelihood that the restreamed runners are not going to forfeit unless something really catastrophic happens.
Right.
We'll see what happens, but, you know, I mean, I can't say, you know, one way or another if tilt is a factor or not, but it's been fairly obvious that unknown availability has been pausing on, you know, noping out of somewhere and then, all right, do I go to the house? Do I go to the sanctuary? Do I go to the old man's hut?
I mean, it is possible that they marked it off and not realized it.
That is true. If they definitely have their own tracker, they may have mistakenly clicked something and just kind of went, uh-oh. But it looks like unknown availability is going to gain the advantage of boots as they're going into, at least somewhat into Swamp Palace.
They're just going to get the first chest. Which will lead to the flute, but...
Some cash and some cash, and I don't think I really care about the rest of the hint, even though I didn't see it anyway.
It was on the big bomb, so... Fat Fairy, money.
So, we definitely know that first chest is going to be a key, because you need it to get past the door that's right there, and there's no other way to get a key. And it looks like we're going to find Bombos, and unknown availability is going to nope out, because they will not be able to progress any further, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and it looks like yet another save and quit out of a dungeon. And
oh man,
and it's
realize. Oh
yeah,
hit the menu. I hope he saw the mushroom there. Yeah, you think if you'd see it.
All right, we're headed in the right direction from the sanctuary. This is a start. So we need to go right to get to the witch's hut.
So stun item is bombs. I don't think anybody has... I didn't see it on anybody's screen, but... Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right, come on, come on.
There it is.
All right, unknown availability. Well done. You remembered you have the mushroom. Please turn it in at your nearest convenience.
An hour and 23 minutes.
There we go. And yes, unknown availability. It is hammer time. Oh, we're getting rage bombs.
The bombs were pulled
That's out. A rage bomb. There we go.
That is definitely a rage bomb.
All right, now, here's the next question. Which of the many palaces that you've unfortunately dipped into already will you wish to go into first?
I would probably do pod, personally. I mean... I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Well, there's definitely a lot of options for unknown availability.
I feel like maybe Swamp. I don't know, because I don't know.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Well, with Eastern Palace already done on unknown availability side, yeah, Palace of Darkness is definitely... Ice Palace could be another place they end up going back into. Let's see.
Saboteur Tender noped out of Ice Palace. I don't know why.
That's interesting. I wasn't paying attention, unfortunately. Unknown availability. Definitely who I've been watching. I guess not enough magic.
They don't have bombos. Yes, they were missing a tad bit of magic.
Because you need, well, with bombos, it only takes a quarter of the bar, but unfortunately, if you don't have bombos, it takes almost your whole magic bar to take out the shell of Cold Stare.
Now, Mega may have finished this last for the purpose of just actually running over to Ganon's tower, which is a smart idea. You don't have to climb Death Mountain twice.
Oh, it does take the whole magic bar. Okay, yeah.
Well, if you see in chat right now, they are putting numbers, and Frico, do you want to go ahead and explain why?
Oh, fine. There is a game that we like to play once we have a runner complete the quest for all 7 crystals. And it is a little game we call Where is the Big Key? And we have options, 22 of them to be exact, of where the big key could be. So, the game, should you choose to play it, pick a number between 1 and 22 and hope you win the lottery of where the big key will be.
What do you think?
I'm going to go number 5.
I told you from the beginning, I'm a very big troll on this. I love Tile Room Key. So, 22. Most runners go right side first. They check to see if there's keys over here. If there's no key, then they automatically go to the left side. Oh my god, it's the first chest!
Wow. That's no fun.
But Mega has to make sure they grab a key before they go up. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like the March Hare is winner. And they have picked number 1. And before I announced their prize, HBL2K is just subscribed with a tier 1 sub. Thank you for the support of Speed Gaming Networks. And March Hare, you have won a year's supply of Link to the Past randomizers. This prize can be redeemed at LTTPR.com.
Congratulations. Peg Cave had the magic powder. The reason why Mega grabbed the key is because you need 1 key to climb the mountain. The other key is on the mini Helmosaurs. Or it could be in a chest, but most likely they grab one from the mini Helmosaur or Helmosaur.
Yeah, you need a total of 2 keys to make it through Ganon's tower, if memory serves. Its unknown availability with Hammer in hand is making the strong comeback, now on the 3rd crystal, finishing off Ice Palace.
I'm gonna have to ask Saboteur Tender why they nope. Oh, because of the I wonder where they went wrong with the magic. Because there's a room right above you can grab a couple pots, I believe, unless they were missing.
I think there is a full refill there.
Unless they were missing a key because of the bomb jump. Mega is climbing the gauntlet, making pretty good progress. It's a little tough with the Master Sword. Those enemies don't go down in one shot, and the skeletons jump around like crazy, so... Did not get a 1 cycle with the land malls, so try it again.
Well, it's just a matter of having a go with those silver arrows, being a little stingy, but still with 24 arrows, I think should be okay.
A little bit low in life, but they have, you know, blue mail. pretty good. They're pretty solid.
Well, I would definitely suggest not hugging Ganon.
Yeah.
I think that would still be a death.
Now, while Mega is in the lead on our restream here, they do not know the other runners because they are not allowed to check the streams. So they could think they're right behind them, in front of them. So.
Yeah, and just for the record, there are other runners aside from the 4 that we have restreamed here. So, no, spoiler alert. First place already finished.
Ah.
But in deference to Megawatt making the trek up Ganon's tower, I will wait until they finish and announce everyone who finished. Ooh, Fisher Price, my first shield. I am in Ganon's tower.
Now, if you notice, they're checking the Mega's checking the chest for a tempered sword. It makes the Ganon fight just a tad easier. But from the tempered to butter, it's not that huge of a difference. But from mastered to tempered, it is. Oh, the swagnet.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that Megawatt didn't find the tempered sword that the other 3 restreamed runners did
They go
when
mode
you were in Ice Palace.
Yeah. So one bad thing about go modding Ice Palace, I know it saves a lot of time, but you may miss something you can save you time later as well.
All right, you Marty Pants in chat. In the nice little who's on first, what's on second routine, the one I stump everybody with as Megawatt picks up a burrito as the reward for taking Landmolus 2 down. In that skit, who are the pitcher and the catcher? Everybody remembers who's on first and what's on second.
Oh boy.
How much more of it can you remember? Megawatt is starting our geometry war.
Yes. Oh, got 2 on the first go.
Oh,
Nice
we have the right answer, but I believe it's split between... I believe it's yesterday and tomorrow, if memory serves me correct, but it's all right. We have Megawatt taking down Aghanim, but...
Number 2, yeah. Saboteur Tenders in Swamp Palace. Unknown's going through trying to get all the crystals they can. And Plasma is doing the anthem. So they have their flute probably hit up Misery Mire. And then flute right over to Desert and then finish up and run up the mountain.
I'm actually surprised unknown availability is going toward Turtle Rock at this point. But we have Megawatt taking on Ganon, and will be the first of our restreamed runners to hopefully finish. Oh, that's sound strategy there. Getting the block so you don't get knocked back.
Oh, perfect position there if they would have had the second phase. Oh, no. It's hit by the wand, the cane.
Does Megawatt have death insurance? Yes, they do. Yes. And Sabotender revealing the location of boots as they've been found in the palace, as I did not see where Megawatt picked them up inside of Swamp Palace. Oh, put the block a little too close, and it looks like it's potion time for Megawatt.
I believe they picked one up before they came into the tower, if I'm not mistaken, unless they pulled one from a chest. But even with Blue Mail, that cane is doing 3 hearts of damage.
Well, at least now Megawatt's out of phase 2 and into, out of phase 1 and into phase 2. Phase 3 is where Ganon will jump up and down and start to remove the outer ledges.
Yes. So just getting through the fire bat phase here.
But this is going to be a rough fight for Megawatt because I believe, again, my math may be wrong, I believe it's 12 hits, to go through each stage with the Master Sword.
Yeah, them finding the temper would have been so much easier.
Oh no, Megawatt. Oh, this is getting tense for Megawatt here.
Yeah.
Ooh. Gotta be accurate with the hook shot. Oh no, just missing a spin slash there too. Oh.
Your most you can I think get is 2 before that. You have to kind of get away. If you're really good, you can get 2 in there.
Well, like, see this one. Yeah, you can sneak 2 in. You could probably sneak a 3rd in there. And now you have to use the hookshot iframes to dodge the bats.
Yeah. Okay, phase 3.
Yeah, that's 1 hit into phase 3, and I believe it takes 1 hit in phase 3 to have Ganon jump up and cause the next section to fall down. And then that'll put Megawatt. This is, I would say, the easier part of things with having the silver arrows. Just a matter of landing that 4th hit.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to get the swipe in or the spin in before he lands on the ground, you will get a hit in before the bats come out.
Now, Megawatt used what I call the torch glitch. Well, we all call it the torch glitch, but if you light the left side torch back up before the right side turns off, it will never turn off.
All right, 1 more hit, and Ganon is down. We have bacon. All they have to do is cross the bridge.
Wait. That's Zelda 1. I don't know what you're talking about.
We have a disappearing Ganon blowing up. And they're across the bridge.
Yeah, that last whole bridge, that can sink runs, you know. But we have Megawatt as our first restreamed runner, finishing overall in 4th place, but first out of our restreamed runners with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, 7 seconds. Pink Kitty Rose finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, 5 seconds.
Oh, not that far behind.
No, not at all. Dracaris finished in 2nd with 1 hour, 32 minutes, 36 seconds. Weighty Words finished in 3rd with 1 hour, 35 minutes, 32 seconds. And Hitsuyan 1337 finished right on Megawatt's tail with 1 hour, 37 seconds, or 37 minutes and 46 seconds.
Megawatt is in the channel. GG, Megawatt.
Thanks. That turned out better than I thought it would, honestly.
What did you think about the mushroom with the hammer?
I regretted everything about that late hammer. Oh my goodness. I was almost last location. Like, actually, if I didn't find flippers where I did in Thieves Town, which is already unfortunate that I left them there to begin with, I was probably going to head over and do the... I had a fairy in a bottle, so I was just going to do the Bunny Revival glitch and skip what I thought was about to be an Aga Seed for West Darkwold access, or East Darkwold access. So that hammer there, after finding those flippers, kind of tilted me a little bit, not gonna lie.
Well, one of the, you weren't the only one who had a little bit of difficulty. Not difficulty, but checked it pretty late, so it was definitely a little bit of a trolley item. What do you think of it overall, though?
To be honest, between all of the restreamed runners, I think you ended up actually getting the hammer first.
Yep.
First.
If not second.
Yep. No, it was first.
I'll definitely have to watch this one back. This was a very interesting one.
Oh, you got to remember who's on commentary. You know, it's always for I don't know why, but it's always a fiesta when I'm doing commentary. So you know, This is the commentator's curse. You got me commentating on it, so therefore you're in trouble.
Yeah.
The
Apparently
hammer
my
was.
first one started with some bad luck, so.
I mean, the hammer was definitely, for me, the worst part about the seed. I can definitely see a lot of other people going straight to the Witch's Hut right after clearing Dark Death Mountain before going the whole drought casts. But that Swamp Palace play I did pretty early, partially
think
because I
there
was
were-
feeling behind, and partially because the items were pointing there for the most part. It was either that or Ice Palace, and I decided I'd take a little gamble. Which turned out to be a very, very good play because it had all 3 of the items I was considering
Yes.
possible leftover for go mode.
Those boots and the right decision to check King's Tomb right after was
Yeah, that was
Smart
really
decision.
good. I can't believe that paid off just so easily like that. Just like 2
Now
checks.
you-
Oh, that's go mode.
Now you did skip one of the swords in Ice Palace. So that's where it was.
Yeah. I heard it was right side Ice Palace too. Yikes.
Yeah, I don't want to say, just in case anybody's listening in. Well, actually, why not? I guess it's not much of a spoiler for you at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, we don't know where the Butter Sword is, so I'm assuming it would be later on in Ganon's Tower or
Probably
possibly
GT,
in one of the Pendant Dungeons.
Yeah.
But I
I'd
think
wager Ganon's Tower just because there's so many items there and nobody's gonna walk past like the first 2 chests. Everybody's gonna get their big key in like spot number 1 or 2.
How did you feel? I bet you were like, "Oh, this is great."
I was pretty overwhelmed, honestly. I was kind of hoping that the big key wouldn't just immediately be there. That way I could actually go searching for another sword. Because as you saw from my actual execution on Master Sword Ganon, it's not the strongest thing ever.
Yeah, we got through it.
So, I did.
And I have to apologize right off the bat. I wanted to be in number 22, but it wasn't. So I apologize.
It could have been. That's just how I routed GT, you know? I could have checked Hope Room chests last.
Yes.
It's not unheard of. It's very uncommon, but it's not unheard of.
But it was a very good run.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Plasma Kappa has finished all of the dungeons. Maybe we can inform Plasma Kappa that this was not a 100% race. And, they come in for the interviews later on, but it looks like they're going to be off to Ganon's Tower now, as Sabotender is still a few dungeons away, unfortunately. It looks like Misery Mire, Ice Palace, and Desert Palace are on the menu for Sabotender.
Oh, Unknown took a death to a laser bridge.
Not like this.
If Plasma decided to pull Pendant Blind, they would have found arrows. So nothing there.
No.
Were you happy to see Silvers early?
I was pretty happy to see Silvers early. It was a nice little chuckle I had on my way to Eastern Palace. Makes the fight a little bit less resource wasteful.
Yeah.
I could use 1/3 of the arrows. And then it was pretty necessary in the long run since I never ended up with that 3rd sword. And if you thought my phase 1 through 3 Master Sword Ganon was something to behold, well, just wait till you see it without Silvers.
I was just gonna say that would have been fun, huh?
Yeah, I was trying to go for the Samaria strats with Master Sword, but I'm not very practiced with those. I've only ever seen them done. So that's definitely something I'm gonna have to practice a little bit before group stages really get moving.
Ah, part of the tournament, I see. What I would suggest, again, I'm no expert because here I am sitting on the bench with a broken left arm that hasn't quite healed yet, but you're a little too close with putting the block down next to Ganon. You gotta give yourself a little bit more room.
I'll give you an A for swag strats though. That was great. Or
Thanks.
S for swag
If
strat.
only I
Yeah.
could have pulled them off. It would have been so much more swag. You have no idea. Well, okay, I'm sure you have a good idea.
We have Plasma Kappa starting the assault on Ganon's Tower.
Unknown is having a little bit of difficulty finding the last key here.
That looks like plasma. Yeah. Unknown availability is having a time with Laser Bridge. And unfortunately, we know it's not going to result in much of anything, but
Oh no.
this is... Unknown availability is definitely getting the endurance award, because this has just been I guess a run that I think they would hopefully soon forget.
Yeah, we all have those. I had one yesterday.
I think it was about an hour and 23 minutes in when Unknown finally went to the witch's hut to collect the hammer.
I'm sure they will not do that ever again, as I would be the same.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where I know unknown availability. Trying to go, okay, what did I overlook? And time after time, passing over the mushroom in inventory, went into Swamp Palace and couldn't proceed, Ice Palace, till they couldn't proceed, and kept dipping into almost everything, and finally went over to the witch's hut.
Yeah, and we got a little bit of a bomb rage, which was quite funny. So Plasma is now in the gauntlet. Any other comments on the stream, Mega?
It's my first
Or I
time
mean
in a
on
while
the run itself, on the seed?
First time in a while I've had to deal with the unpleasantness that is Master Sword Ganon. Happy I got the silvers, but it's a little bit unfortunate that I decided to go ice before swamp. Kind of regretting that, because that tempered sword would have been really nice.
Yeah, but I don't think you had too much trouble.
Yeah. It came pretty close at the end there, but pulled through somehow. And then
It came close on Ganon when you had the, what was it, 1 heart left on the 3rd stage.
Yeah. Oh, that was really
Oh no, we have unknown availability running out of magic. Unfortunately, Trinex was littering with the blue head and just kind of ran out of magic, noped out of there. I'd be interested to see if anybody knows where half magic is, because
Probably Ganon, I would imagine.
I'm pretty sure there's a pot. Oh, that's a nice fairy drop, though. I'm pretty sure there's a pot somewhere in the room just before Moldorm that has some magic in it. Or Moldorm, Trinex. Not to mention the big pot in the bridge room as well. The Canis Mari bridge.
Yeah, it'd be curious to see. I'm sure nobody will check, obviously, because Big Key is in the first chest, so there's no reason to dip into Ganon's tower, but there's probably a couple items in there, like the book. Give you a little bit of a troll.
yeah, I think Plasma Kappa found the shovel. I don't think we have any idea where the cape is, the book, red mail. We know where the powder is, sabotage.
And pretty soon, Trinex will be down. Plasma is almost at Aghanim 2. I mean, he made very good time, Mega. I mean, it was a little bit of a trolley seed, but not too bad.
Yeah.
1 hour 37 minutes is not bad whatsoever.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. 1 hour 37 for 2 completed pen and dungeons, 1 of them full cleared, and Master Sword Ganon.
Yeah, pretty much almost did a full clear on everything, so.
And I also dipped Hera even though I didn't clear, so I feel pretty okay about that.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to catch up on a couple people who have finished. Salty Fry finished in 6th with 1 hour 38 minutes 32 seconds. Kyle LPN finished in 7th, 1 hour 42 minutes 36 seconds. Magnificent finished in 8th, 1 hour 43 minutes 46 seconds. Big Dunka finished in 9th with 1 hour 46 minutes 44 seconds. So if Plasma Kappa can pass his geometry test, which it looks like he's just passed, he might be able to take 10th place overall and be the second of our restreamed runners that will finish.
Yeah, they're definitely on good pace to be the next. Saboteur Tender is still going through desert. Gonna finish it up shortly, and Unknown is going into Swamp Palace. But at least they're on the right path. A little bit of catching up to do, but they still need Boots and the Flute.
Well, Unknown availability needs Boots and Flute. Sabotender has both, so
yes,
this is just a matter of cleanup duty for Sabotender, finishing up Desert Palace and then heading into Ganon's Tower.
Now, Plasma does have the Tempered Sword, and if you're watching it, I'm sure how Omega would like it to go. It's just slashes, not spins.
Makes me so jealous looking at him just slash away. Must be so nice.
Well, you know, get a little more into Ice Palace. I think that third sword could have been yours as well.
Yeah, the plan was to stop and check, like, very convenient chests. But that didn't really pan out considering the few dungeons I had left. There weren't a whole lot of those.
I mean, typically you don't have to look for anything, so...
Specific dungeons I had left.
Yeah. Plasma going for the torch glitch and got it.
Yeah, so it looks like we'll only get one shot there, but might get two here. Oh, second one
just
missed.
it. And they're going to be finishing off here in a second. Let's make sure they get across the bridge. They will be finished.
Alright. GG to Plasma Kappa. And I guess I'll go ahead and get out of your guys here so you can get on with Plasma Kappa's interview then. But
Well, thank you, Megawatt, for joining us for the interview, and luck the rest of the way in the tournament.
Yes, thank you very much.
And thank you very much for having me here too.
Absolutely.
Have a nice night. You too.
You too.
Chat. Take
And
care.
Plasma Kappa does indeed finish in 10th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 52 minutes 48 seconds. Ooh, we have a big flurry of finishers. Sheer, S-H-Y-R. I don't want to butcher your name too badly. But you finished in 11th with a similar time to Plasma Kappa, 1 hour 52 minutes 48 seconds. ZZZ Cube finished in 12th place, 1 hour 52 minutes 51 seconds. Guitar Girl TS9, 13th place, 1 hour 52 minutes 52 seconds. Firewood King, 14th place, 1 hour 52 minutes 59 seconds. So we had about 5 people finishing within a span of a little over 10 seconds of each other.
Yeah, very close for... But everybody got the mushroom memo. All at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like Sabotender getting the big key, but definitely still needs one more key for moving on. Unknown availability looks like gonna be able to get through the rest of Swamp Palace now.
Kappa is in the waiting room. We will grab them in a second.
So I think we're just waiting for Plasma Kappa to join us on for a little interrogation session. Looks like they're in the Discord, but I think after playing for close to 2 hours, I would need a little bit of a break if I could take one.
Agreed. In the meantime, Saboteur Tender is climbing the Ganon's tower, going through the gauntlet as we speak, and Unknown is going for those crystals. Now, they still have to pick up the boots and get the flute.
And we have a few more finishers. AK Drizzt finished in 15th place, 1 hour, 55 minutes, 8 seconds. And yes, Dugor, you absolutely should try doing a rando sometime.
Yes, they are very fun.
And it looks like Frostbite 3030 is finished in 16th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, 55 seconds.
Saboteur Tender made quick work of the land moles there.
And we have unknown availability taking on Argus here at the end of Swamp Palace. And with the Tempered Sword, this is going to be...
Piece of cake, yeah.
Yeah. And Sabotender's going to take the magic refill. And unknown availability makes short work of Argus, and definitely on the comeback trail for unknown availability. They had a heck of a time trying to pin down the location of the hammer, which locked off a whole lot of the map.
I believe they still have to go to King's Tomb, though.
Well, it looks like unknown availability has the boots, so hopefully a couple of those quality of life areas are going to get checked in the near future by unknown availability.
Yes. Clear up all the dungeons you can while you have all the items, and then hopefully you come across it. If not, you go quested for it.
You know, unfortunately, with how long it took to find that hammer for unknown availability, hopefully we don't end up with round 2 being the quest for the flute.
Yes.
But I think Sabotender should make quick work of the geometry test here, landing
nice.
a triple there right at the end.
That is very difficult to do. Saboteur Tender is going to be going into the Ganon fight here. Tempered Sword in hand. If you're new to the game and you just looked at unknown availability screen, he did a hammer dash. That's when you have the boots, and only certain items you can do it with. Hammer and fire rod, I believe, and the cane of Burna. Pretty much most of the items, actually. Makes a little cool little trick to get through some things faster.
Ooh, Sabotender's in a pretty rough spot there.
Oh,
Looks
yeah.
Ooh, nice. Using the cane to get out of that corner trap that they found themselves in.
Right on to phase 3. Oh, blue potion in hand. Perfect. No need to risk it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree with the play by Sabotender here. But I think landing that extra hit's not going to do too much on Ganon here.
Nah, they're pretty much frustration flash slashes. No more than one is needed, but it feels good when you hit more than one. Misses Torch Kush, but that's okay. And Ganon is down.
Yeah.
Welcome, GG Kappa.
GG. Misread the PM again. Also sent help.
So is there anything that really stuck out this seed for you, Plasma Kappa, as Sabotender finishes off Ganon and, if you don't mind me interjecting, finishes in 19th place. 2 hours, 1 minute, 28 seconds. Have a couple other finishers. Nez Kamikaze, 17th place, 1 hour, 58 minutes, 35 seconds. Hyo 24, 18th place, 2 hours and 49 seconds.
In retrospect, it's not surprising everything was in swamp. That mirror was useless. Those hookers were also useless.
Except for Hammer, which seemed to be a little bit of a troll item.
Yes, well, I found it when I found it.
What did you think about that being on the witch's hut?
You know, I just walked all the way up for pod and then found
We have a
it.
double rage bomb by unknown availability as they found the flute a little over 2 hours in.
And I'm like, well, at least it isn't an ice.
Yeah, that seemed to be the item that was, I don't want to say the most trolly in the whole seed, but it was, if you didn't check it, you ran into an issue, so.
Yeah, well, I was just going to follow that entire north route up to ice. If it wasn't there.
Don't mind, I think we're going to hear the Hylian national anthem now.
And Swag Duck is free. Other than that, Kappa, did you have any other troll moments that you feel in the seed, other than Swamp Palace being everything? Got Silvers pretty early.
Oh yeah, of course. Took the hammer, took it all the way up to TR, hoping for the flute so I wouldn't have to go back, walk back to pod. And there was nothing there, of course.
Nope.
And nothing anywhere else. And at least I bailed on swamp. I was like, oh, there's like 5 people finishing 10 seconds after me. Good thing I bailed on swamp.
Yeah, well done on that choice.
Yep.
Let's see, we have unknown availability headed in Desert Palace, and they have Misery Mire, and that will be it
Yes.
for crystals to then take on Ganon's Tower, Tower of Hera, and Skull Woods being pendants. I'm fairly certain unknown availability will not be bothered with those.
How did you feel with the big key being in that first chest? Were you pretty relieved to see that?
I mean, makes my time a bit better in retrospect if it's in that first chest. So I was all right with that.
Yeah.
Now, were you kind of hoping that you would have found any items in Ganon's Tower, or were you just, okay, I'm in go mode, and I just want to go?
Oh, maybe the powder, but I I just checking that bottle blue.
Yeah, the powder could have been used to turn a couple of the anti-fairies into fairies. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a quality of life item. Sabotender was the only one I believe that found the powder out of the restreamed runners, and I'm going to ask them where they found it, because off the top of my head, I do not recall where it was.
I actually don't recall myself.
We have Unknown taking on Land Mollis now. Looks
Yes,
like
Hammerhead Cave.
thank you, chat, for coming through and remembering what I have failed to remember.
I as well. Thank you, chat.
Where was the powder?
A peg cave.
Oh well, that's never going over there. Oh well.
Now, Plasma, are you in the tournament still? That's I think cut down to 96 at this point.
No, I'm like 103rd or something.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Yes, well. Well, I can't be bothered to go back home for the tournament. You know, just leaving the go mode item in Link's house. And then
That's never fun.
and completing the red and go moding a red pendant ice palace. And then I was sunk forever.
Oh.
All right, looks like Sabotender has joined us in our in post-race interrogations, also known as an interview.
Boy, yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, that did not go as planned.
Oh, well, feel free to enlighten us as to what exactly did not go to plan, or was it just from the word start, just everything just went all kinds of ugly?
I mean, it's all on tape there. You saw it. It was everything today. Yikes. I mean, it started out not bad. I was feeling pretty good about the sequence break. Scored a bunch of stuff there. I was like, okay, this is going all right. Then stupid Death the Blind. And then my mid-game completely fell apart. I thought, oh, I'll go to Turtle Rock, and that didn't turn out to have anything I needed. I also died to Trimax. That was great. I don't know. And then Ice Palace,
Did you just
I think from
run
Ice
out
Palace
of
on, I
magic
just
for
blanked out.
Trihex?
Yes. I did, yes. I
You
was
also
one
ran-
shot away. Yeah.
You also missed Ice Palace as well, right? By one shot?
Same deal. I did. I don't know. I should have gone to the potion shop a little earlier, I think.
I saw you take the mirror and nope out of it, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. And then the bar, little sliver off the top.
I know. And I kept trying to, like, get those the jellyfish to give me something, and they just weren't. And I thought, I am going to be, farming these guys forever to try and get that one magic drop. It probably would have happened, but man, I was just completely lost at that point.
Yeah, the Bombos medallion, or the Bombos was in Swamp Palace, so...
And that was another one of those things, yeah, like, it was that second chest there, you pick that up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this would have helped one dungeon go, yeah, perfect. But, I mean, I guess for me personally, I don't think I can do any worse than that, so... maybe I'm getting this out of my system before I really start, taking on groups here for the fall tournament. I mean, Megawatt is in my group, and he thoroughly kicked my butt today, so I got some work to do.
Well, looks like better now than later, I would think. But you can also look to see what they did and what you may have done differently.
Mhm.
Oh, red mail is cutscene chest in Misery.
Ooh, okay.
And we have one more finisher. Squatch has finished in 20th place with 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 3 seconds. So this has been a difficult seed, to put it bluntly, as I don't normally see them go past 2 hours like this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think this, for me, it's my first, open mode seed that's gone past 2 hours in quite a while. I mean, a lot of silly deaths on my part, but even for a couple of the other runners who are finishing up now, yeah, it was a little bit tricky and convoluted, and so if you didn't quite catch on to what the seed was doing, you could easily kind of fall behind, no doubt.
Yeah, I feel like most of the streamers, the seed runners, may have been stuck up with the hammer. It was a little bit of a trolley spot, but if you didn't check it.
Yeah, when that mushroom popped out in Hookshot Cave there, I did think it might turn into something. I didn't get over there right away, but I had already kind of ditsy-doodled and wasted a bunch of time by then. But yeah, it felt like it might have been something. So seeing that it was the hammer was welcome. Especially, I think at that point, I didn't have much else to check. So it kind of was one of my last locations for it at that point.
What do you think really tripped you up the most out of this seed? It didn't seem like it was the hammer, but was it anything else, like perhaps the boots or the flute?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely the flute. I mean, the other mistakes were things that I guess wouldn't normally happen while I'm racing. I shouldn't die to blind. I shouldn't, run out of magic in Ice Palace. Those were like silly little things that I can just brush off. But yeah, having that the flute was the thing for sure. That I was like, where is it? And when it comes to like last item for go mode, I have terrible luck figuring out where that is. So I've got to work on that, like really narrowing down what my options are when I'm one item away from go mode and figuring out where the best play is. Because I constantly mess that up.
Yeah, you got a lot of dungeons though to check. I mean, that was probably on the last thing on your mind was King's Tomb.
Yeah, as long as, and I guess I was waiting. It was boots, and I also had already said I was abandoning Graveyard Ledge there. I hadn't gone to Graveyard Ledge, and I was just going to leave that location. So I wasn't really thinking about that part of the world at all.
Now, where did you end up picking up your 7th crystal from, if you don't mind my asking? Just because, off the top of my head, I don't remember. I believe it was Desert Palace.
Yeah, it was. When I picked up the flute for go mode, I had to go back to ice and finish that off. And then it was just straight over to Mire into desert right after that for me.
Now, one thing I do want to say about Megawatt is that through the powers of routing, Megawatt ended up in Turtle Rock last, and then just a short stroll over to Ganon's Tower, which I think saved a lot of time, especially given this seed.
Yeah, I always try and finish up at Turtle Rock. I guess today I thought I would kind of gamble on Turtle Rock having the flute. Because I mean, at that point, I had Swamp Palace and Ice Palace open to me at the time to try and figure out where that flute might be. And instead, I went up to Turtle Rock, finished that off, and then had to figure out after that where I was going to go. So if you could leave Turtle Rock till the end, absolutely. Trips up the mountain are a big waste of time, and I had a couple too many today.
Yeah, but when you didn't see that in there, you're like, oh no.
Oh, it was terrible. I thought I had nailed it. I really thought, oh, it's gonna be in Turtle Rock, then I'll get to go mode Ice Palace, go mode the other two, and when it didn't show up, that's when I guess, started freaking out and making bad decisions. I guess.
Matter of fact, I think when somebody was in there, I mentioned that it probably would be in Turtle Rock, and I was sadly mistaken.
Yeah, it felt like it. It felt like it might actually be in there today, but I guess that's random for you.
Well, I don't want to ignore unknown availability as they are still plugging away. They have just begun the assault on Ganon's Tower, and it looks like they're going to be rewarded with that first chest big key.
After the seed they had, absolutely.
Ooh. Unknown availability went left, everybody else went right, so that was a chest 2 big key. But unknown availability is just going to mirror out and go hunt for the key they need to proceed through. How did you feel about the big key showing up so early in Ganon's Tower? Do you think that helped you, or not so much?
Well, it was a relief, I guess, because at that point, I mean, I was pretty much done with this seed. I'd made so many mistakes. I felt so bad about my play that, just seeing the big key there, I thought, thank God, I don't have to go all the way down through Ice Armos, or it's like Tile Room or something. I almost thought it might be Tower Room, but no, seeing it there nice and early was a treat, and then I could be wrapped up in 6 or 7 minutes after that. So that was great.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a reward for everybody who was running the seed.
Definitely.
I apologize to Mega, and I think I'm not sure if I apologize to Kappa, but I was wishing for 22, chest number 22. So I apologize in the meantime if you hear me on the restream.
I mean, that's fine. I was contemplating going straight to Tile Room.
Yeah, considering the seed, sure.
I was definitely a little more reasonable than Hot Fuzz was. I think I ended up on chest number 5.
Yes.
I would take a chest 5, yeah, for sure. But, yeah. Chest number 1, that's definitely the best.
Yeah, Mega had to do when you guys found the Tempered Sword. Mega had to do Master Sword Ganon strats. So your fights were a little bit more faster than his, but.
Oh, that makes sense because he probably would have go moded Ice Palace.
Correct.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. He did not pick up. All of the other restreamed runners picked up the Ice Palace sword, but Megawatt did not. Well, for obvious reasons, but
In a hurry.
yeah, it looks like unknown availability is in a little bit of trouble here. Unleashing a bee is wreaking havoc on the ice rooms here on half a heart and using the hook shot to get the iframes. Oh no.
And no fairy.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Looks like we're going to have a second go at the ascent up Ganon's Tower, but
Yeah, we definitely got to give props to Unknown sticking it out. I know it can be very frustrating, but that just shows, good sportsmanship. Not getting too upset, just going through it.
Okay, turn my screen off. Thank you for the restream.
Thank you,
Commentary
Calvin.
and the
GG.
tracking. GG.
Yeah, absolutely, Plasma. It was a pleasure.
I have well
Sabotage.
would have rage quit myself, but
If I wasn't being restreamed today, there's a good chance I might have actually quit this one. This one really stuck it to me. It was something else.
Yeah.
Well, there were a high number of forfeits that I'm seeing in the IRC chat.
And I do not blame them.
Yeah, it definitely was that kind of seed where, you got so far and you could kind of see how it was going to play out, and it had already kind of drained a lot of people, so I can see a lot of people just going, nah, I know how this is going to go. It's going to be 2 hours plus. I'm out.
Sure.
Yeah, between the trouble items of the flute, the hammer, I guess we could call the boots kind of a trouble because they were locked away in a pendant dungeon.
Yeah. You had to have a lot of pendant dungeons. Pretty much, I think you completed a full seed, didn't you, Sabotage?
Yeah, I did. I almost thought about pulling the pedestal just for fun.
Did you see what was on it?
I did not.
A skewer or arrows.
Yeah. Vampire skewers, which I believe refers to arrows.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
So we have unknown availability at Landmolus 2 here. Oh, firing a little too early for the first Landmolus head. And it looks like with 9 silver arrows left, it looks like unknown availability is going to try to save those for Ganon.
Wise decision.
Gonna go with the tempered sword beatdown of Landmolus here.
Actually did really good there. That's a pretty clean run on them, that sword. Oh, I got 5 more arrows.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help. 14 arrows is definitely better than sitting on 9. You end up missing a couple, and then you go, uh-oh, now I got to make every shot count.
Yeah. A couple more rooms, and they'll get beat through the gauntlet.
Yeah, it'll just be a little math test, see how well he can do with geometry quiz. And unknown availability actually falling.
Yeah, it's a quick little trick to get out of that. To get out of there pretty much quicker if you have the hearts to do it.
I always thought that would end up wasting too much time and end up missing the lighting all 4 torches because of it.
Oh, it's definitely possible.
And unknown availability passing up 2 chests, which easily could have been the book and the cape for all we know. I don't think anybody picked up either out of the restreamed runners.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure myself. I knew the net was there. Sitting on 3 hearts, though.
Well, this is a relatively safe fight, because so long as you have your sword extended, that's pretty much what happens with Moldorm 2.
Yeah.
You just boop his tail a couple times and have a burrito as your reward for victory, and move on to the rest of Ganon's tower.
Any other thoughts on the seed, Subtender?
No, I'm going to erase this one from my memory as soon as possible. I think I'll step out now just so you guys can take care of unknown availabilities the last little bit here. So, Super Hot Fuzz, thank you guys for doing the commentary here. And
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good luck in the tournament as well.
Yes, absolutely. GG.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
You too. It's like unknown availability is halfway through the geometry test.
Doing pretty good. There we go. Perfect.
And there we go. It's I believe I've counted up the number of forfeits, and unknown availability is the last racer that's going. So
Everybody who did that, perfectly understandable. I would have too. The seed was pretty crazy if you didn't find certain things in a certain way. So
it's Blackjack finished in 21st place. 2 hours, 25 minutes, 4 seconds. So we had one more trooper that was battling their way through to the bitter end. And it looks like unknown availability is going to lock down 22nd place. Hopefully we can see a pretty clean Ganon fight here.
yeah. Well, with tempered, it probably won't be that bad.
Yeah, getting 5 shots in right off the bat, 6, 7, and that'll do it for phase 1.
Yes.
Just got to make sure we don't
Correct me if
test
I'm wrong.
the,
Is it what's tempered? Is it 12 or am I mistaken?
well, I was apparently mistaken with
I thought it
7.
was 6. Yeah, I thought it was 6. That's my bad too. I think butter might be.
It's a little mental note for self. Remember how many strikes it takes with each sword.
I was purely guessing. Yeah, okay. 12 slashes.
And there we go. Chat bailing me out yet again.
And me, because I wasn't sure.
We have unknown availability already into stage. That's the first hit, which will take care of the first column. Get hit number 2. A little rage slash there in on Ganon to get some extra damage in, but I don't think it really matters because Ganon does reset, and it will take 4 silver arrows no matter what.
Yeah, Unknown has full magic, or basically full magic.
Now, unfortunately, unknown availability did not pull off the torch glitch, which means have to manage their magic a little bit more. Oh, unlucky with the torch going out.
Yeah, the other one's just gonna go out too. Careful with those fire bats. Oh, nice double.
Yeah, a nice double there to end it. And unknown availability is going to finish in short order here.
And he's on the 3rd pixel tile, so he doesn't fall off that bridge.
Yeah, there we go. That'll do it. Unknown availability finishes 22nd place with a time of 2 hours, 28 minutes, 52 seconds.
GG.
Bit of a rough one there, but hopefully unknown availability doesn't mind jumping in real quick for an interview.
He's in the lobby, so in a second here, probably get his their composure a little bit.
Oh no, gather that rage, get it all going. Once we bring them up, they can just let loose and, entertain
GG.
us with
So, yeah, that's the way not to play Link to the Past Randomizer.
oh boy.
How did
Yeah,
that hammer
that
feel?
was definitely a spicy one.
How'd the hammer feel? The hammer felt like it got smashed up against my head a couple times.
Oof.
Yeah, I exhausted every option. And I knew the boots were behind hammer, so I'm just wondering where this hammer's at. And the whole time, the mushroom's in my inventory, and I know it's there. I went and did fake powder, so I'm just like, where do I go? Okay, let's go try the first chest in Swamp. It might be there. That would be a trolley location. Go there. I'm like, it's not there. Let's go finish Pod. Towards the end of it, I'm like, also I noped out of Ice Palace, not realizing that there was nothing left in there, thinking, oh man, I'm in go mode, and I left Ice Palace and just went directly to the boss, and I'm like, I need the flute.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Did you, when you opened your menu, did you see the mushroom and go, oh, or was it on the back of your mind? Did you mark it off?
I knew it the whole time. I knew I had it. I just never went and checked it because I was kind of hoping for the flute to go check it to make it easier, because I could have checked it earlier, and that's when it did slip my mind, because I went up to check Catfish and I came down and did Pyramid. I could have mirrored right there and done it. Like, my early game was spot on. I had a lot of great plays, a lot of early finds, and I'm like, wow, I'm probably doing really well, probably ahead. And then it literally,
you walked by the witch's hut in the dark world, and we're like, hit the mirror, hit the mirror.
I was begging so many times for you to mirror over, because you walked right past the witch's hut in Dark World, and I'm like, please, you know you have the mushroom, please mirror over, please do it. And you just walked right on by, and I'm, oh no.
And every dungeon you walk in, we go, and it's not going to be in there.
Yeah, it went downhill. I was honestly triggered after finding the hammer. I got triggered really badly. I was like, oh man, of all places, I've had this mushroom forever. I knew I had it. I knew, it was always there in the back of my mind, but I'm sitting here thinking there's so many other places to go, so many other things to do. I went ahead and finished Thieves Town. I knew there was nothing there. It's like, I need to think. And the last possible space, there you go. So yeah,
How about Laser Bridge? Were you a little tilted on Laser Bridge?
I was tilted before Laser Bridge, let's face it. Laser Bridge did cause me a little bit of strife, but yeah, I need to practice my laser skips. I'm not quite as good on the timing. I get caught up on the little edge, on the little pixel, and it stops me from going up, so I get hit by the laser, and it just falls apart from there. So I got to get a little bit better at going far enough left and then up.
It was definitely a good job sticking it out. I mean, that definitely would have been, whew, for me. So
yeah, and of course, it just makes it look even better that on SRL I've got a PB again. I swear that's not my actual PB. I am better than that.
man, you suck it out. It's good. Definitely a GG on that. Any other parts of the seed that you feel not really a hang up, but was it just the hammer in your case?
It was not checking the mushroom when I went up to Catfish. Using that routing wisely was really what caused it to downfall, and that's kind of what tilted me, is realizing that I could have done that so much earlier and saved myself so much time, because I ended up going and actually getting a lot of good items early and thinking, oh, well, Swamp's going to have the boots. Well, the boot's going to be required for the flute anyway, because, of course, where was it? King's Tomb. Of course, because I'm sitting here trying to avoid... I almost went to Skull Woods and finished Skull Woods for the green pendant. And, avoiding the mushroom as long as I did was the worst possible mistake. It's an easy turn in. After I did fake powder, I should have just went and turned the mushroom in, or turned the mushroom in and then just save scummed it if I didn't need it, right. And that would have saved me so much time and so much trouble, and would have allowed my routing to actually stay solid. Because there was a lot of choices that I made early on that actually got me pretty far ahead, and I feel like I'm not even ahead, or kept me on par, and early choices were really good and spot on. Not staying in Thieves Town when I really didn't need to, knowing I didn't have an item there, was no reason to finish it when relatively low hearts, no sword, just no reason to stay. So leaving there, there were plenty of better decisions I could have made in the late game, of course. I kept trying to go to Turtle Rock. The reason why you kept seeing save and quits is because I kept trying to go to Turtle Rock, no hammer. I kept trying to go places without the hammer. I went to Link's house and tried to go to like Pod, and I'm like, I don't have the hammer, and I kept going the wrong places because no hammer, and it kept throwing me off. That's why I went to Ice Palace early, because there's so many chests you can check, and I'm like, maybe the hammer's in there. Then I found the 3rd sword upgrade, and I'm like, I didn't need to do this. So yeah.
It even slipped my mind in Swamp Palace about the first lever with the hammer, so I feel your pain. I feel that one.
Yeah, that one didn't slip my mind. I actually legitimately went into Swamp Palace for that first chest because I almost expected the hammer to be there. I actually thought that it was a trolly thing to do, and halfway forgetting the mushroom at that point as well. Like I was aware, but not of the mushroom. I knew it was there. I kept looking back at it. I even marked off that I did the fake powder and just like, and of course the gauntlet, I had to die on the gauntlet at the end too. And I'm like, great. Wonderful.
Yep.
I appreciate everybody sticking it out as well, though. I'm sorry to have this go over 2 hours.
No, it's all
Well, you weren't the only one to break 2 hours. Sabotender was just as guilty as you were as going over 2 hours. So you definitely weren't the only one to go past 2 hours. But yeah, I guess that was just a little rough with the item location and the hammer gating you off from just about everything you wanted to do at that point.
The hammer's the worst item to gate you, because let's face it, the hammer is an item that doesn't like stop you from getting into some places. It lets you go into places like Ice Palace, Swamp Palace, and all these areas, but you're going to end up having to come back if it's not there. So that's exactly what I did. Checked that first chest, got bombos. Hey, that's great. It makes Ice Palace easier. But going to Ice Palace, going to Swamp Palace, going to Thieves Town and taking that chance, it's like the hammer just being that item that allows you to lock off so many locations, but still getting locations in those places. Ouch. Just ouch. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, the only thing that required hammer that had anything was the peg cave, and that was powder. So
that would have been helpful. That was actually on my mind once I got the hammer of where the flute could be. So I was pretty happy when I found the flute when I did, even though I was upset because I was like, of course the boots blocked it, and I needed to get the boots from a hammer locked location, which of course was Swamp Palace, and I'm like, of all places, it had to be one of these. So yeah. But thanks, guys. I really appreciate the commentary. Thank y'all. Thank you, trackers. Thank you, Speed Gaming, for throwing this. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you very much. GG, Unknown.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and drop out, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's about time we're going to close it down here. Dimensive and Smith were our trackers today. We just ended up talking with unknown availability. Having a little bit of trouble with this seed, having difficulty finding the hammer. I think at this point, we're going to go and plug a couple things that are going to happen tomorrow. I know it's not going to be restreamed, but these daily races happen every day at 2 p.m. and 9 p.m., and they have a rotating format to them. Let's see what else we have going on tomorrow. We have Celeste going. I think that's in some of the final rounds, if not the finals. I'm not entirely sure. We've got, I think, Octopath Traveler is going to be on at 4 p.m. Let's see. We've got Oracle of Seasons, a couple Zelda 1 randomizer races. The 9 p.m. is a MISC category. I don't know if it's been revealed yet. So it could be anything at this point. Let's see. What else do we have? I think that's about it from my side. Is there anything else you want to throw in before we shut it down, Hot Fuzz?
No, I just like to thank you. Thank the runners, Speed Gaming. Thank you for being my commentator with me. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it was one good fun seed. So
All right. Well, we were kind of asking for a trolley seed, and I think we got one tonight. So
yeah, a little bit.
I think we can go home satisfied with that one. I think at this point we're going to shut it down. So why don't we say our goodbyes, and then that'll be it. We'll finish this race off.
Sure. Thanks, everybody. And till next time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. For Hot Fuzz, I'm Freako. Have a good night, everybody.